Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Italian for a While podcast. Today we're back with Annetta.
Ciao.
She's one of the IFA counselors for all of the future students that still don't know her. And so today I asked her to join us because we have a Q&A session.
Yes.
So we asked our students to tell us what are all the questions that they want to ask to one of our counselors, basically. Mm-hmm. So all the most technical ones that maybe Erika or I cannot really, in the end we can answer everything, but like the most technical ones, we know that their students are always like more happy if it's one of the counselors that they do the calls with to answer. Mm-hmm. So that's why you're here today. Thank you.
Happy to be here. We can get started with all the
questions. Okay, so they asked several, of course. I only chose the 10 most frequent ones. Okay, so we will keep it to these. And then, guys, of course, for all the other answers, I will either write some information in the description of the video or we will find any other way to get back to you. No worries. But for now, let's start with these ones. And are already like a lot. So we're going to cover a lot of things. So let's start with the first one. How does the enrollment process work?
Okay, so just to give you a general idea of an example of how a process works to create and a program for a student. So the very first step is to start exploring. There is a lot of resources on our website, so definitely start there, looking at destination, looking at the duration of the program and all of that. We have a form, it's a first enrollment form, very easy just to get familiar with the program, with the cities, and to kind of start thinking about what the possibilities are for you student. Then the first step after that is to schedule a call. So together in the first call, we'll talk about your goals, what do you want out of this experience, and then we'll get into the details of the destination, the accommodation, the visa process if you need, and all of those very technical things. So that's kind of the first step. After that, as we define the program, the duration and everything, we'll get into the details of the enrollment and actually getting you confirmed in the program, and then after that, how to actually make you come here. So those will be the last details of your actual arrival.
Perfetto. Okay, so just keeping in mind the future students that maybe don't know really, I will add just some few information. We don't only have gap experiences that are like a year long, we have different durations, so this is something that it's really up to them to decide how long they want to stay. And also for the cities, some of them may already know where they want to go. If they don't, that's exactly where you step in and help them understand.
Exactly, because sometimes some students have already been in Italy, so they already know, the difference between the north, the south, the center, so they already know where they actually want to go, and sometimes they need some guidance to make sure they choose the right location.
Perfect. Okay. And also I wanted to add not only these, but once you're here for everything, we are always available. All the counselors are always available. Yes. So it's like an ongoing process.
Yes, all the time.
Perfetto. So question number 2. How much Italian do I need to know before I start?
Okay. So
$1 million question.
Yes. No, it's it depends a little bit. So if you know already some Italian, that is great, because imagine coming to a whole new country and don't even know a single word. So it's something that is good for you to know a little bit of the language. So if you can come a little bit prepared, then definitely it's a big plus. Some embassy, so if we're talking about a longer than 3 months program, and also if you need the visa, because depends a little bit on the country. So those are the details that we'll discuss
in the call, of course.
But if the student needs to do the visa, Some embassy requires a little bit of Italian and some basic level. This is something, of course, that we'll talk together in the call to make sure they have the requirements that the embassy, the specific embassy, actually wants.
Okay, perfect. So the answer is it depends, basically.
It depends,
Yeah.
it depends. But if you have time to study a little bit, that's always good.
Exactly. I totally agree. Perfect. Let's move on to question number 3. How are students placed into different levels or classes? Also, this is very interesting.
Yes, so just to also go back to the previous question, but levels, classes are available in every level, so starting from the beginner course, like complete beginners, to the most advanced. So even if you are a beginner, there is a place for you.
Yes.
And yes, to actually place in the right class, if a student is a complete beginner, then goes directly to the complete beginner class, easy. Otherwise, if a student has a little bit of knowledge, they will take a test before arriving, an online test, and then they will be placed in the right level class for them. Usually also you do a small test with a teacher in class on the very first day, just to confirm and have like a oral test, so a little bit of a conversation with a teacher just to confirm the level.
Perfect. And also one thing that I want to add, because some students sometimes tell us that each school is very flexible. So for example, if they say, oh, I think you should go in an A2, but then during the course, they're like, they don't feel comfortable, they don't really understand what is being said in the class, and they ask, the school will always make their best to put them like in a A1 class, or the contrary, if they feel like, no, it's too easy for me, they will go in a B1. B1, right,
Yeah.
yes, correct. So I
Yeah,
mean, this is also very important, like they don't have to to focus themselves too much on the result of the exam, because then once they're here, there's always time to like fix it.
Yes, it's not like you're assigned to a class and then it's fixed, you're not moving.
Yeah.
No, it's flexible. So and also it depends a little bit on the student, on how they like to study a little bit. So I had, for example, students before asking me to that they prefer to be moved up a level compared to the level that they were at the moment, because they wanted to be always challenged to do more, and then maybe they had to practice a little bit more outside of class and get back on some grammars that they haven't covered. But in this way, they were always pushing, they were always challenged to go faster, to improve, and to go on a faster pace.
Yeah.
And then I also had students doing the same level
For months.
times. Not just because they needed a little bit more time to focus on the specific things that maybe they don't understand quite well. They needed to do a little bit more practice to focus on some things that they found harder. So it's flexible, and in that case they did again the same level with different people to practice again, and they felt happy and they improve even faster after that. So it's it really depends on the student.
Really flexible and customizable.
Yes.
Perfect. Okay, let's move to another question. Will the course I take count for university credits back home?
Yes, a tricky question. No, not tricky. But yes, so technically it can. We have specific programs for that. So not all the programs that you see in the catalog in the website are possible for credit recognition for university.
So they always have to tell you.
So yes, it's something that we cover even just starting from the very first call, just to make sure that if you want to have credit recognition, we start from the very beginning to make that happen and start with that process. So specific programs for credit recognition and also in specific cities, so not all of them. it would be possible for you. So yes, it's possible. It's a conversation that we can have definitely have with the students from the very beginning and make it happen.
Okay, so perfect. So as always, like the sooner they tell you everything that they want to do, the better.
Yes, because with the credit recognition there is a little bit more paperwork involved. So that's why it depends on the program, and also it needs a little bit more time to coordinate.
Okay. Perfect. So far we've covered the questions about the programs and academics, let's say. Now I have some other questions on the logistics and planning. So I will read the first one. Can you help me with the visa application process?
Of course.
Yes, we can.
I knew this question was coming.
Of course. This is one of the most frequent ones.
Yes.
So I had to include it, of course.
I know. It's definitely the biggest stress for all the students.
Yeah.
But yes, of course, we help all the students with the visa application process. Don't worry, we'll cover also if you need the visa, so don't stress.
Exactly.
You might not actually need the visa, so this is something we'll cover also from the very first call with a student. So yes, if you need the visa, we'll go over it step by step. What's the checklist of the documents that you need to do? How to book the appointment, where do you have to go, what to expect at the appointment. So all of these,
all the documents to bring.
Yes, all the tips, everything will cover.
Perfect.
Will help the student. So yes.
I had two things. One, that we have a YouTube guide on the visa application process. So guys, I will link it for you. And second, that actually in the community, you and I made a beautiful course where they can see basically all the major documents that they have to fill. You show them how to actually fill them. You answer all the most common questions. So not only they will go through everything in person with you, but also you will direct them towards these courses so that they have everything down step by step. So really they have everything they need.
It's super helpful. So step by step, also you can do it at your own pace. So
you can stop, go back.
Stop, fill out the form, check if you have everything, book the appointment on the website while you're looking at the instructions. So all of that is super helpful. And then in the call, in the one-on-one call that we do, we can go over doubts, problems, and
exactly.
and everything.
And then you always give them the tips, like to bring the copies and all that kind of stuff. I remember. So guys, you are in good hands, really. Let's move to another one. Do you help with travel arrangements to and from Italy?
Yes. It's something also that I help out the students, especially before their arrival, giving some tips from which airport to arrive to, from where they travel from, everything, layovers, what could be the best routes for them. And then, of course, we coordinate the arrival. So the arrival date is very important. So we have to coordinate, make sure that the check-in is coordinated, someone is there waiting for the students at the apartment, either shared or the homestay or whatever apartment they pick, or whatever accommodation they selected. So yes, we'll coordinate all of the travel arrangement, the arrival date, and etc.
Okay, perfect. Let's move to the next one. What kind of health insurance do I need for my stay?
Yes, good question. So it depends a little bit on the student. So if the student is from Europe, so if you're a European student, consider that the system in Italy is public, the health system is public. So you're covered. You don't have to get any extra insurance, any health insurance whatsoever. So you are okay with your card. Your health insurance card, it will work also in Italy, no problem. If you're not from Europe, it's different. So, and also it depends whether you're doing the visa or not. If you're from outside the Europe and you're doing the visa, the health insurance is mandatory because you will have to present it at the consulate. It would be one of the required documents. I can give you some tips because there are specific details on what's covered in the health insurance. So it's not whatever health insurance you can find. It needs to be a detailed one. So yes, it's something that I cover with the student to make sure they are doing the right one. If the student is not doing the visa, technically the health insurance is not mandatory, but I always recommend to
Yeah,
get
you never
one.
know,
So
just in case.
all the students that are coming with us, they get the health insurance because it's better to have it
Yeah,
than not.
absolutely, absolutely. Okay, perfect. And so, in the end, to answer their question, you will always tell them what is the best health insurance that you suggest. So,
Yes, I'll give a suggestion, and then of course
Then it's up to
they are welcome to check their own health insurance if they already have it back in their home country, to see if they can have an extension to be covered during their stay in Italy, or they can also check another health insurance. But in any case, I'll let them to make sure they're doing the right one, and if they need any suggestion, I give it to them.
Perfetto. Okay, let's move to another question. How early should I arrive, and what's the check-in process like?
Yes. So how early? It's usually depends a little bit on the accommodation that they are selecting. Usually in the homestay and in the shared apartment, in the student shared apartment, they can arrive the Saturday and the Sunday before the starting date of the course. Courses are always Monday through Friday.
So 1 or 2 days before the
Yes,
initial date.
Yeah, the Saturday and Sunday before. The check-in time will be organized depending, of course, on the student's arrival in the airport. There will be someone present at the check-in, so there will be someone waiting for the students, either if it's the homestay, so the accommodation with a family, or the student's accommodation. This person will give them the key, show the apartment, give the instruction, answer any questions, and just so also show everything that is functioning in the apartment. We can also sometimes coordinate earlier arrival, so sometimes students request if they can come even earlier than that. Sometimes we can accommodate that, so it's a possibility. Otherwise, generally Saturday and Sunday check-in.
Yeah, I remember we also have some students now, for example, that they decide that they want to come here with the family, like a week or 2 earlier, and just go around Italy. But that is something that they can do like totally on their own. So they decide where they want to go, they book their places, and then they know that they can come.
Yeah, exactly. No, many students do, because once they decided to come to Italy, then the whole family wants to
go.
It's a thing.
Yeah.
So yes, a lot of students come before with the family, take some trips, and also get acclimated. No, acclimated.
Oddio. How do you say in English? You get
used to.
Sì, vabbè.
You get over the jet lag.
Exactly, you get used to everything.
Yes. And then you start class.
You make yourself comfortable.
Exactly.
Say like this.
Yeah. I can't even remember how you say it in Italian.
No, I will think about it. Okay, anyways, we have the last part, that is questions about the daily life and community, basically. So the first one is, will I be living in a homestay or an apartment, and what's the difference? Okay, we kind of already said.
Yeah, we kind of a little bit mentioned the differences. So this is also something that we talked about together in one of the calls that I usually do with students. So we have different possibilities in terms of accommodation. So staying with a family is one. So the students can live with an Italian family. Family can be a little bit different. So it can be a single host, a couple, or sometimes also couple with children, usually older children, so 16 plus. So that can be the homestay setting. In the shared apartment instead, the students are together. So usually it's 3 to 4 people per apartment, only student. As much as possible, we place students with similar age, so you'll be together with someone similar age as you. In both solution, every student has his own private room, so on private space, fully furnished. Also, the apartments are always fully furnished, and the process to choose either one, it's depending on the student's preference.
Yeah.
So the possibility to stay with a family is definitely a more immersive opportunity. You can speak Italian, you can ask tip, you can share a meal together, so definitely a more in-depth experience. The students' apartment are definitely a little bit more independent. You're staying together with other students that you're also seeing in class. Maybe a little bit more fun, but yes, that's kind of the difference.
And otherwise, they have the option to live on their own if they want.
Yes, they can also live on their own. Private apartments are also a possibility. Private studios, that's something that can be organized. Also, just to mention, students can also arrange their own accommodation.
Also, yeah, especially like those that want to stay for less time.
Yes, exactly. So people that are staying for a little bit less times, or sometimes people come in together with a bunch of friends or maybe family. So they, of course, have to arrange their own place.
I think this is important to mention. Like, we help them if they need it. It's not like mandatory.
Yeah, so exactly. It's not mandatory. So if they want to arrange their own accommodation, or maybe they already have it. So we had also students that already had an accommodation arranged.
Perfect. This other question is linked to this one because they ask, do I choose what host family I get to live with?
Yes, many people ask me.
A lot of people, exactly. That's why I was like, let's include it because.
Yeah, no, of course, because you're getting excited, you're planning everything, you already want to know exactly where you're gonna live. It's totally normal. So yes, the process of choosing the family, it's a match. So we have host families available, we have a network of families available in every city. So once we have a student that is arriving, we collect their preference. So I always ask if you have any preference, specific needs, allergies, whatever, because especially a lot of families here have dogs and cats, and we don't want a student who's allergic to pets or really don't like them. So I always ask all of this specific question to make sure we can find a family that is a good choice. Once we make the match that we think is the best match possible, I'll share all the details with the student. So the student has usually the photo, if we have them, the details of the accommodation and the details of the host family, contact details as well. So I always say that they are welcome to message the host, write an email. Sometimes they also organize a small chat, a small call to kind of get to know each other a little bit before arrival. So that's also a really good thing. So they get familiar, they start talking and before actually arriving.
Yeah, this I think we have to say depends also on the age of the host, because we've had some experiences like with maybe older hosts that maybe don't have WhatsApp or this kind of thing. So that depends, but in the end, there's always a way to be in contact.
There's always a way, of course. If there are any problems in contacting the host, we're always there to help.
And also, you're always
Yes, of course. Be flexible, guys, because sometimes, the older.
That's important for everything during a gap program. Be flexible, I think.
Because sometimes maybe we have families that are not as technological. Even if they're young, but they have some technical problems with phone.
But we're always there to put them in contact and everything.
Yes, we always managed. It's a manageable situation.
Okay, so now let's move to another question. Then after this one, there's just the last one, and then we are done, and you are free to go. So, how can I get in contact with other students?
Yes.
Lot of ways.
We have a few ways, because I know you're eager to arrive and you're eager to get to know all your peers that you will find in Italy with you during your time. So we have a few ways. We always create a WhatsApp group with the students that are arriving. So you get in touch with them before. You can ask questions, kind of prepare. You can also share all of your doubts and questions. Sometimes there are also students that are here, so you can find and ask tips also to the students that are here already. So that's definitely a great way to get in touch before arriving and get to know each other a little bit. Beside the group, we also organize like an orientation meeting, like a meetup with the same group, so with the students that are arriving all together. And also that's an occasion to see each other live.
To see their faces.
Yes, to see their faces, so you can recognize each other on the first day of class. And yes, again, another occasion to ask question, tips, share doubts, concern, and everything. Yeah.
And also to present them their meetups that we're gonna do, like the physical
yes.
ones. Because of course that's another way in which students from different cities can get to know each
exactly.
other.
Because in this group and this orientation, you will meet also students that are not exactly in your city. So you get to meet students that are around Italy during your time. And the meetups, so we have physical meetups that we organize in different cities. So we pick a city and then we invite all the students that are all over Italy to come and join, usually for like a full weekend of activities and the things that we do together.
And we plan everything, no worries. You just have to come.
Yes, we'll tell all the details on that before the event. And that's again another occasion to meet in person.
Yeah, and it's so nice, like when they meet and get to know each other during our meetups, and then maybe like a month after we receive selfies of some of the students like making plans together to go see the other one in the other city. It's always super nice.
Yeah, it's beautiful because of course they always want to travel, so meeting people in other cities is an occasion to then I'll come
you have a place
and
to
see
stay
you next time in a few weeks, so they travel around together, and yes,
that's always very nice.
Beautiful. Yeah.
And then the other thing that I would add to this is, I think, other than the people that you meet in your class and in your apartment, if you have a shared apartment, also the schools organize activities. So even to go to those activities, you may find people that are not in your class. So it's always a good way to find other people.
Yeah, exactly, because like you have class in the morning, so morning are busy learning, and you have your classmates, so you'll meet friends there, and then after class there are activities organized during the afternoon, so that's another occasion to do things together. The activities are not mandatory, so you can also organize your own things or relax, but you have plenty of occasion to socialize,
and meet new people.
Yes, meet new people, do other things in the city, so yes.
Amazing. Okay, one last question.
Okay. That's good.
This is a mom, I'm sure. What's the emergency protocol if something goes wrong?
Okay.
A mom, for sure.
We cannot finish with this question. We have to add something. No, but it's okay. So, yes, don't worry. No panic.
Esatto, nothing will happen. But in case anything happens,
consider you're not always think that it's not just you. So, like, you're coming here by yourself.
Exactly.
Like most of the students that we have actually come by themselves to Italy.
Yeah.
We don't have like groups coming in together, not many. But always consider that you are from day one inserted in a community, in a place, in a safe place where you have a lot of people around you, starting from us that are always there even before you arrive.
Yeah.
The local staff at the school from very first day, early morning, they're always there if you need anything, whether it's for school, for the class, for understanding, navigating the city, or any other issue, so whatever it is. And that's something that you always have to consider and be at peace at that you have it. The classmates as well are, I think, a really good like important
peers for
resource.
you.
Yes, because you have all students that are arrived with you. So people that also just arrived, so they're maybe in the same situation, but also people that have been there for a few time, for a few months, that already know the city. They can definitely be a safe help for you if you need anything, or if you're struggling with orientating in the city, with getting yourself comfortable in a new place. So that's something also important. Of course, on the more difficult side, if there is anything wrong, whether it's the accommodation, the place, problems, the protocol is to get in touch right away with the local staff, to make sure someone can help you. So whether it's a medical emergency, whether it's a not happy with the class, not happy with accommodation, the sooner we know, the sooner we can interviewing, make sure we can help out if possible.
Yeah, and also, of course, as always, we provide them with the security. No, they're not called security, like the numbers that they have to call in case of emergency.
Yeah, of course.
Like something that maybe goes beyond us, like calling an ambulance or whatever. In Italy, we do like the corna, so let's hope that nobody ever needs it. But just in case, it's important to know these numbers, and so we always provide them. So
yeah, absolutely.
Okay, perfect. We've covered all the questions that I had gathered, like put together.
Okay.
So I think we gave them plenty of information, and we'll put also the links to all the other guides that we already have, resources and everything. So thank you so much, Annetta, for sharing all this knowledge with us.
Yes.
And of course, as you said, like then in the one-to-one calls, you can give them all the details.
We'll give you all the details, answer all your questions. Of course, if you have any question, they can comment.
Yeah, they can comment.
Reach out to us.
I will reach out to you to answer their questions.
Or definitely we can see each other in the call to cover all the details.
Perfect.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And bye, guys. Ciao.
Ciao.